And once I was not selected for that, I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done with other people telling me no. I'm going to tell myself yes. And so that's when I went all in.
So if you are on Instagram and you are a writer at all, or you're publishing or anything, I guarantee that you have interacted with Alyssa Burns, because she is like the most supportive, wonderful human on Instagram, and she's super active in the community, which is how we found her. We are really excited to have her on Margs Manuscripts today. But just in case you didn't know, Alyssa Burns is a journalist and an author. She earned her Bachelor of Arts in Communications from California State University, East Bay, and her Master's of Business Administration. I didn't know you had an MBA too. Oh my gosh. From California State University. An elder emo, iced coffee enthusiast, and wife and mother, Alyssa enjoys dancing in the kitchen and creating messy fiction just like the rest of us. So we are so pumped to have you here, Alyssa. Thank you for
Thanks.
being here.
Yay!
You
Cheers!
with my margarita can.
Mhm.
Welcome. So we wanted to bring Alyssa on today specifically because she is publishing a book herself. It comes out April 1st. Obsessed. The cover's everywhere now. And you're doing such a
Mhm.
great job at marketing it and getting it out there that I have so many questions. Like, first of all, like, what was your path here? How did you ultimately decide this was going to be it?
So I decided that I wanted to write a book. It's been a lifelong dream. But in October of 2024, I was deep into kids. I think there were like 1 and 2 at that point, and I was like, okay, I love them, but they cannot be my whole world. Like, what else is my dream? And a book was my dream. And I was like, okay, I have to do this for me. Like, even though I don't know how, even though I know absolutely nothing, like this has always been my dream. I'm gonna make it happen. So I went ahead and I started writing the book. There's no structure. I didn't have a community. I was just like, here's my ideas. I'm going to put them on paper and just see. And if I publish this and put it on my own bookshelf and nobody sees it but me, at least I've achieved my goal in life. So,
Why is there, like, so much in similarities between you and I in that regard? Because mine was the same reaction of,
yeah.
"I have 2 children. I have nothing that is my own, including my body. What shall I do next?" And
No, it's
that's
so
just it's
important to
true.
like remember who you are because I definitely lost
Yes.
who I was because I can't focus on what I want. I'm focused on what they want.
Exactly. Like, snacks, diaper changes.
Oh my gosh, getting up all throughout the night, all the things that
Yes.
motherhood demands of you, and I'm happy to give it, but I just felt like I had no spark left, and I'm a sparky person, so I had to
That's
do it.
such a nice
I'm a
way to put it.
Sparky person.
That's such a nice way to
Yes.
put it. Yeah, and I think, we talked about this on a previous episode too, where it's so nice to think that even when the kids are gone, on the opposite side of, this whole experience, right? Like, our kids are so young now, and this is what we have to do for us, but one day they're gonna be gone, and then it's just gonna be us alone again, and thinking that I'm still going to be doing this thing,
But I
probably
also don't
more.
wanna wait. I don't wanna wait till
Yeah,
my kids are in high school to, like,
yeah.
follow my dreams too, and my daughter this morning was like, "Mommy, I wrote a book," and she did show me, like, I saw a cat, and I'm like, "The fact that I can motivate you, like, that's why
Right.
we're doing this." I'm not like, I'm doing this for my kids as much as I'm doing it for myself.
And for them to see you doing it.
Mhm.
Was there ever a point where you were like, "I'm gonna query," or or from the get-go where you're like, "I'm gonna
No,
self-publish"?
I did query. I thought that that was the path. Again, like, I came in knowing nothing about all the different ways to do things. So I thought, like, you go and you query and get an agent, and then you get a book deal, and life's great, you know? Like,
Right.
obviously. So that's what I did, and then Alyssa De Regatta started this group called Hot Girls Who Write, and she was an indie publisher with her debut, Call It What You Want, and then got picked up and went trad. And so having her as an example of somebody not that my goal is to now go trad, but to have an example of somebody who's wildly successful as an indie author, I was like, "Oh, wait, like, this is feasible. Like, maybe this is something that I wanna do." And then I queried for a while. I did not get any responses. I got form rejections, and then I altered my letter, and there's so much involved in the query process. Like, I'm stalking agents, I'm learning what they like, I'm tailoring, like, I'm putting so much work into it to get absolutely nothing back, and that's just, like, part of the nature of the game. And then I took a step back, and I was like, "Okay, why do I want to be traditionally published? And for me, it was solely ego. Like I want to be traditionally published. Like that's what the good writers do. And I was like, okay, what if I didn't let my ego get in the way? If that wasn't a factor, what would I want to do? And to me, it was indie. Like I've got an MBA. I love everything I've learned about this process so far. I could put it out when I want. I could do what I want. I'm not beholden to anybody else. Like I'm a control freak and I kind of love the option of doing exactly what I want to do. So I made that decision, oh my gosh, over the summer. And then it's amazing how fast it spiraled into like now I'm debuting the last special thing April 1st.
So amazing. That I love that
Wow.
because, yeah, like, so much of our conversations do revolve around, "Okay, what is the core of why I'm even doing this? What is the like, I know I love writing or, like, I know I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna write this book, it's for me, but, like, what is the end goal here?" And I feel like a lot of people don't see indie as a path. They see it as, like, the last resort. It's not,
Hmm.
like, a viable option at first, and there's so many. So it's like it's fascinating to hear, and I feel like the more voices we get out like yours, like you said, you had this woman in Hot Girls Who Write that you could look at as an example and say, "Well, she's doing it and she saw it this way." And so that's like and the more voices we get out there as good examples of people who did it the way they wanted to, is I feel like we will get more people on board with, like, not thinking it's, like, the worst path or
And I
something.
highly recommend joining a writing group. So the Hot Girls Who Write, I'm in. They have traditional authors. They've got indie published. They've got people who've actually done both and continue to do both. So the more examples you see, like you were saying, the better it is. I know Novel Bound is another great author group that you can join. I just once you stop being alone in the process, your whole world is open to all the different ways you can do it and how to do it. Like again, when I decided indie publish, I was like, okay, cover design, ISBN, like I'm overwhelmed by all these things. So having a community of different people to be like, this is how you do this, this is how you do this. Here's the timeline. By the way, the timeline looks different for everybody. That's crazy. I'm in another group with I think the 6 of us who are all releasing their debuts within like a 3-month period. And we're all in different stages, which is super fun to see. Like, oh, you don't have your cover yet
Ooh.
but you're already planning your launch party. Oh, but you've already got it on Amazon. Like, how do you do that? So again, community is huge. That's my biggest recommendation is find a community.
So when you were going through the steps, what was the point where you were like all in? Not just a, like you said, it was kind of like not a last resort, but it was a, well, what do I do now? Like, when was it where you're like, wow, this is what I should have done the entire time?
So my turning point was I applied for the Smooch Pit mentorship program and
Yes.
and that sounded really amazing. I actually pitched my second book, which is a situationship. And I'm like, I know it's not true romance, but it's definitely romantic. Like, I think this could be good. And once I was not selected for that, I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done with other people telling me no. I'm gonna tell myself yes. And so that's when I went all in.
Literally.
That's so
I
much.
know.
That's like
Don't take a no.
quotable.
Take that. I mean, that's what I was like, at one point, it's like, you're just like the only people what was it that I said where I had the realization where it was like, the only people telling me that I can't do this are the people telling me I can't do this.
When you mentioned, Kate, how you wished more people didn't see indie as like a last resort or like less than or anything like that. Do you think the only people that have that opinion are the people in the book world itself and not the readers?
I personally think so because I found so many indie reader or indie authors that I have no idea if they're trad or indie. I
Right.
nobody's
Yeah,
got a
I really do
stamp
get
on your book
confused
that
sometimes.
says traditionally published.
Yeah.
And there's so many like of the hybrid publishers too, and it's like, okay, where do they fall? Like, but it's not a hierarchy. Like I love good books and I hate bad books, then they're all over the place.
Right. Are you well written? Yes. Neat.
Right, right,
I wanna get into logistics about indie
yeah.
publishing here. What what was your first step? You're saying, like, people do it all different times, which I totally get,
Hmm.
but what are the steps involved in this? Literally.
All right, I'm gonna pull up my cute little Excel workbook real fast. So
Because who doesn't love a spreadsheet?
I love a spreadsheet. I love a
She's an
spreadsheet.
MBA.
Okay. Here are the list of 14 things that I'm considering for myself related on this. A website, I invested in Grammarly. I joined a writing group. I have developmental editing. I had to get an SBN. I had to get a barcode separate. I've got to do cover design. I elected to do PR. I have a launch event coming up. I had to do interior formatting, which I've got thoughts on as well, swag, and then I've got character art with a big fat question mark because I haven't done that, but that is still something to consider.
Damn.
That
So,
was like a checklist that we need in a PDF format that we're like, "Here you go." Like, no more gatekeeping.
The dev edit is like if you've ever just gone to lunch with a group of writers, I guarantee the question has come up, should I get a dev edit? Whatever. If you're going trad, if you're not going trad, everyone wants to know, did you get a dev edit? I don't know. Should I get a dev edit? I don't know if I should get one. I don't know.
so
So
before
let's
you
talk about
do
the
a
dev
dev
edit.
edit, you need to get beta readers. You need to get beta readers because they'll tell you if your story's moving in the right direction, and then you'll have many points of view, not just a singular dev edit. Like that person is not the queen of your book. You need all the feedback to make it as strong as possible before you submit to the developmental editor. Get the beta readers, take it to the developmental editor. If that was the one thing that I had money to spend on, that's how I'm spending it. You mentioned earlier in this episode, Meg Rosenthal, she's amazing. She's my developmental editor. I'm using her again for my next project. Once you find a good editor too, and you're in sync with them, like you need somebody who's going to hype you up while also hold your hand and tell you what's not working. Like you don't want just a yes. You want somebody who's going to push you, but not crush your spirit while they do it. Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't wanna get kicked in the teeth and have just say,
No, and
"Okay, do it
I
again."
did. And so then for ARC readers, my goal was 50 and I hit 50. I got that announcement today. So I was super excited to have 50 ARC readers. And there are people who have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds that sign up and good for them. This is my debut. So I felt like 50 was good. I also really want the reviews. Like if I give you the free book, that's great. I really like the review back. So my
Yes,
goal there
please.
is 30 reviews. So again, instead of sending out 800 arcs and getting 10 reviews back, like let's make it really quality arcs.
Agreed. And so that's why you're sending an arc, right? Is just to get the review. That's the whole
Just
point
to
of the
get the
arc is to
reviews.
get and you want the reviews before you
Before it's
go.
published. That way, when somebody goes on Amazon and they're like, "Oh, do I want this book?" They're like, "Well, it already has 15 good reviews." So really to build credibility.
Okay, I think we just broke our own rule
Oh no.
of, we're semi-educational in this episode.
No. And this is honestly, we are educational in this episode because I wanna know.
We're
It's
having
okay, this is, like,
fun.
personal gain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is, like, following my personal journey at the moment
I'm
into,
just your
like,
big sister sharing.
diving into this because I think it's you can go to 8,000,000 places and probably hear all the things you need to do for indie editor, like, to go indie and whatever, but, like, I need I need an honest take on what you feel like you need and what you feel like you don't,
Yeah.
and, like, getting 50 ARC readers, like, because I feel like everybody else is saying you need 500, then I'm
Yeah.
like, "Well, who's gonna buy my book?"
Right. But I did pay for the PR firm, which has been so good for my mental health that I'm not constantly checking every day to see how many people signed up. Like she let me know today it was 50 and I was like, great, I can throw a party and then I'm going to move along. She's doing graphics for me. She's going to be the one who makes sure the people who are rating 1 stars are not the ones reading my books. She's going to follow up, gently saying, hey, did you review this yet? So having that person in my corner has been huge for me. And that is something I'd recommend again.
That's such a good point. That's really cool. Tell me about the launch party, though. I wanna know about that.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Yes.
excited. It's in my hometown of Coronado, California. So I'm flying back home to it. That's where I've got a lot of supporters. So yes, it's going to be at a tasting room. There's whiskey, there's wine. I'm going to go and have a conversation with a friend. I'll do the book signings and I'm I'm really excited. I'm nervous, but again, this is my lifelong dream. So let's make it a big deal. It's like you got your wedding, your baby shower, this is my book launch.
I was literally gonna ask. I'm like, "It's a mini wedding."
That is so cool. I love that. I was so curious about the PR firm because it's something I would just never consider really doing, but it sounds like it's been really helpful for you.
And again, for my debut, like, you know me because I'm singing in my kitchen on Instagram. Like, I've got zero credibility with anybody yet. Like, I've got a couple people who've like gotten the early edition of my books and like, oh, you're actually good. And I'm like, yeah, nobody else knows that yet. So Like, you're just blindly trusting me right now. So for the debut, I wanted to get all the publicity I have because I assume for the second book, now you know me for my first. I've built that trust. If you like the style, you're going to keep reading. But for the first one, nobody knows me.
Yeah. The funniest thing and what I love being about it, like, being a part of these writing communities, oh my god, I can't talk, is that, you do make all these friends and you meet all these people, but, like, you've never read their books.
No,
And,
No,
like, you and Jenna and I still have not read each other's books.
that's so
And so
funny.
no.
I'm
Wow.
that is my favorite one of my favorite things about being in a community of writers is that, like,
Mhm.
you make these friendships and you get to know people, but then you read their books and you're just like, "Holy shit, you can do this."
Right.
Ah,
It's
I'm here.
exciting.
It's so awesome. It's so nice. It's, like, really nice. It's a really nice part about having friends that do this.
It's the warmest hug that matters the most when you have, like, a fellow writer read it, and you're like, "Wow,
Mhm.
great work." Like,
Right.
I like, that's all you want. You just want, like, a little gold star from the person next to you. Let's talk about your cover journey.
So cover was a shit show, if we're gonna be honest. So I booked my cover designer, and she was supposed to start, like, December, and, like, again, this was talked about in advance. I did not pay money, I did not have a contract, she didn't do either of those things, but, like, I looked her up on Instagram, she had a ton of followers, she had a ton of tags, like, everything looked great. And so then it came for, like, the first deadline, and I was like, "Hey, just checking in." And she's like, "Oh, I got you, girl, don't worry." And I was like, "Okay, sounds good." And, like, a few days passed, and I was like, "Hey, just checking in on that deadline." And she's like, "Yeah, girl, I totally got you." And I was like, "Okay." And, like, a week passed, and I was like, "Are are we good?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "What?" She's like,
Where is it?
I'm gonna have 2 options for you." And I was like, "Awesome." And again, like, I'm trying not to, like, poke her every day, but I'm like, what are we doing? Because I do need a cover for the book. Like, I like, that's a necessity. So, finally, at one point, I had to say, like, "Hey, I've gotta find somebody else because you're not giving me anything." Like, I never saw a draft, I never saw anything. And so then I, like, panicked, and I went on Threads one morning, the Instagram Threads, and I was like, "I need a cover designer." I did get several good responses from the Threads, and then one of the people who reached out to me, um, somebody in my Hot Girls Who Write group also used them. So I was like, "Okay, a personal recommendation. That way I don't have to be scared anymore." I gave her the deposit. She had a draft back to me in a week. We went back and forth a few times. And I super loved the cover. I'm not an artistic person, so I was never going to design a cover by myself.
But I was like, I did not think that was gonna be part of the process. I was like, I'm just gonna get a cover and I'm gonna love it and it's gonna be so great. But
Yeah.
I'm just telling myself like it's totally normal. And Jenna had to like pep talk me and be like, here's
Good
what
job,
you
Jenna.
say. And that it's normal to go back and forth with them. And they
It is.
expect like to kind of have something like so dialogue. That's been like the hardest part for me, honestly. So it's like on it, it's really
Really?
nice to hear somebody talk about it who's like a boss bitch. Like, here's what I
You
want.
have to be because you,
Yeah.
especially as an indie author, you are the boss. You are the
Yeah,
boss of everything. And
yeah.
I think of all the men bosses I've had, and I'm like, would like they're so on my ass. Like, you're allowed to do that to other people to be like, this is exactly what I want. Make it happen with a smile.
You're so up my ass, and right now, I'm gonna be so up your
Right.
ass.
Right. And you're like, really, this is such a minor change. Why do you care? But they're not afraid to tell people that they want a minor change. So why should you be? And again, the cover designer's not gonna like lose sleep over it. They're gonna be like, okay, whatever.
Oh,
I
and
will
here I
say,
am
though, that
thinking like, "Oh my god, I hope this doesn't, like, hurt their feelings."
no,
They don't care
feelings,
that much about
never,
you.
never. I we do have fragile egos, us designers, though, and that we love to be praised.
Well, that's what you
We
do,
love a
right?
little good girl
Yeah.
moment.
I love this. Can we just tweak this? Like, there's always such a
Yeah,
nice way to go about it.
compliment
Yeah.
sandwich.
Yes. Being a debut author doing this all the first time is the hardest part because it's like once you find a good editor, you stick with them. Once you find a good
Yeah,
cover designer, you
that's
stick
true.
with them. But at the beginning, when it's like, I've got to try all these things and learn brand new for every single one, it's hard.
Especially when you call yourself the boss and you
Mhm.
are in charge. It's either you rise to the occasion and you, like, take it on, or you're just gonna be scared. And
Mhm.
I think about it of, like, assembling, like, the dream team of, "Wait, I get to pick the people? I get to pick. I get to do the things that I want to do.
Mhm.
Hell yeah, sign me up. Like, I want you. You're joining my team. It's like the best part of dodgeball as an elementary kid. And there's money involved. Cool.
That's
I
how I
think
felt about picking my beta readers. I was like, "I want you and you and you and you, and you're the
Yes.
elite group." And I was so excited when they
Yes.
all said yes. I was like, "Assemble, unite, whatever that is."
We need badges.
Yes.
Yes.
and that's the first time you're kind of like come out as something, right? Like when you get your beta readers, it's the first time you have to take control and treat it like a business almost. And
Mhm.
I for sure I felt that. I think that the imposter syndrome just comes in so super hard when you're an indie author because you're putting yourself in that place. Our whole lives we're so used to people telling us it's time for us to be a leader, right? Like you're
Mhm.
getting a promotion or you like you're it's other people telling you like, "Okay, it's your time now." At this we are like literally deciding one day, "Okay, it's my time. I'm the leader now. I take in I'm in charge now." And it doesn't feel comfortable for a lot of people, I feel like immediately. It's like a thing that we kind of have.
I think my biggest struggle is not taking the foot off the gas, especially when I'm so close. It's like, "All right, I posted on Instagram every day for 6 months. Can I
Let's
just take a
go.
nap now?" And it's like, "No, this is when I need to keep ramping up." Like, I met my goal of 50 arcs. I think I've still got 2 more weeks. Like, can I get 75? And it's continuing to push myself even when, like, I feel like I'm like, "Okay, are we good now? Are we done yet?" And it's like, "No, you stay strong till the end."
So tell me about what part really, like, surprised you in terms of what you enjoyed the most
Oh my gosh.
in your journey.
I'm having so much fun. Like,
Yay!
I would not go query again. Like, if somebody knocked on my door, I'm always gonna have a conversation, but, like, I'm having so much fun being an indie author. I'm loving singing in my kitchen and just being my most authentic self and hopefully making book sales
Yay!
out of it. So, like and again, I think a lot of this comes back to motherhood too, that, like, you do so much to be a mom, to be the best mom you can, that this is really my creative outlet that I just get to be totally myself, unbeholden to anybody else.
I love that.
Just hearts.
That's
Hearts
like
all
that's
around
the
on
thing.
that.
That has to be the closing. Wherever we go from here, that's gonna be the close because that was so
Yeah,
sweet.
this will be, like, right there.
I feel like I need a cigarette after that.
Don't even smoke. Yes.
I would start again.
I think the only thing that I am missing is Alyssa. Pitch your book. What's it about? Who is it for? And then we're gonna drop all the deets in the description.
All right. The last special thing is a cautionary tale about drug experimentation. And it follows 18-year-old Amelia. I know not everybody loves 18-year-old protagonist, Jenna, but it is a young adult book. And it's about a girl who mistakes
This
chaos
makes sense. This makes
for
sense though.
tragedy. It does. It's she's not fighting dragons. And she falls
Here we
in a
go.
guy. They fall in love, and she has to learn that it's not about the drugs or the guy or the thrill that makes her special. She's the special one all along. So
I love
we're
It's
this.
a
going
hard
for
lesson.
high school, college age, but I think everybody would enjoy the book.
When is the official launch date and where can they get your book
So they
too?
can get my book now on my website. There are signed editions. So it will be coming to Amazon too. In the next couple weeks, it should be available on Amazon. But April 1st, it is not a joke. April 1st is the official release date.
It's not a joke, April 1st.
See, that's going to make you remember it. April 1st, you're going to be like, what's not a joke today? The last special thing is not a joke.
It doesn't sound like a joke.
Absolutely not. No, we don't joke around. Oh my goodness. And just a little nod to Amy Poehler, who is like my idol when it comes to podcasting land. What are you reading? What are you doing these days that are bringing you joy in the reading and writing world?
So I'm currently reading Dear Future Husband by Taryn Christine. It's about a girl who gets amnesia and she loses her brother and her is it her whole family in a car accident? I'm not too far along, but she's an indie author and I read her other book, Dear Me, and she's such an emotional writer. Like she's the kind of person who will take 2 paragraphs to describe how you're feeling. And I'm just so jealous of somebody who like puts you in their heart like that. I'm very much more a plot person. So, yes, Your Future Husband by Taryn Christine.
Ooh, I love how you just, like, had that ready in your back pocket because I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm reading right now, but yeah.